phenomenon at the time that Sailor Moon was on the air. Were there any very memorable moments from, I don't know, fans or something that just kind of really touched your heart because it was such a big phenomenon?
Yeah.
It's after the fact. It's now.
It's now.
There were no fan issues at that
Like
time.
no stories or anything from fans who grew up, like kids at the time.
I have a quick story. Last year, Katie and I went to the convention in Vancouver. And we had just had a panel just like this. We were all up on stage and it was over. And so various people went forward to talk with various people who had been on the stage. And a couple of people came up and wanted my autograph. And I noticed that there was a woman at the back of the crowd. And she was odd because she was one of the only ones who wasn't in a costume. And she was, I would say, about 24, 25. And she was stood back from everybody. And finally, everybody had left. And I looked up at her and she came towards me. Pardon me. And I said, "Hi." And she said, "Hi. Count to three. Count to three. Think of something for you. Okay. So she comes up to me and she said, "I came here especially to thank you. When I was growing up, when I was a teenager, I had some very bad problems with my father. He was very abusive, and I immediately understood that he was sexually abusive. And her mother didn't believe her or didn't help her or whatever, so she was very lonely and very isolated in that house. And she said, whenever things got really, really rough, I would say to myself, how would Sailor Jupiter cope with this? And she said, I would hear your voice in my head, that feisty, strong, determined voice, and I would say to myself, I'm going to be just like that, and I'm going to get through this. I'm going to get through this." And then she started crying. And I looked at her and I started crying. And I said, "Can I hug you?" And she said, "Yes, absolutely." And I have to mention that she was a very pretty girl. Very, very pretty. And I can imagine that if her father had walked in that room, I might have taken a gun and shot him in the head. As she walked away, she just sort of backed up from me and she just mouthed the words, "Thank you, Sailor Jupiter." And she walked away. So that was...
Beautiful stories.